Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Verda and today we are going to learn about light. So, what is light? Light is a form of energy. We can see an object when light rays from that reaches our eyes. The light may be either an object's light or the reflected light. Light always travels in a straight line and it can form shadows. So here I've given some common misconceptions and the real fact, what people think and the facts. Most of the people think that we can see light, but it's not true. We cannot see light. We can see an object which gets reflected from the light and its reflection reaches our eyes. Light cannot be spilled. It's a misconception. The fact is that when white light, it can be spilled and it can form colors, which are the seven colors. Image formed inside our eyes is erect. It's not erect, it is inverted. The types of objects. There are two types of objects, luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Luminous objects are objects which have their own light. For example, the sun, stars, and some electric fishes, and there are various types of fishes and insects also. And non-luminous objects. Non-luminous objects are the objects which reflect light from other sources. For example, like planets. And the interesting fact here I've given is that the moon does not have its own light. So now let's talk about the parallel beam of light. It always goes parallel. I will show you here. These A parallel beam of light is a bundle of rays. Here, it's a bundle of rays. It's a bundle of rays which are parallel to one another. So it's called a parallel beam of light. And then convergent beam of light. They meet at a point. The convergent beam of light, they meet at a point. So let's see. The rays, see. The convergent beam of light is the rays of light which are not parallel to each other and which proceed towards a point and meet at a point here. They are convergent. They're meeting here at a point. So it is the convergent beam of light. Now, now we are going to talk about the divergent beam of light. Divergent beam of light, it spreads out from a point, for like it's the opposite of convergent. Like, as you know from the word divergent, it means like they will spread from a point. Suppose it's a point, so they will come from here, 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 and so many like this. So the rays of the light, I'm now giving you the definition. These are the rays of light which are not parallel to each other and which spread out from a point. Now, the reflection of light. Let's see. The reflection of light we can see through an example. I will show you. Okay. So, suppose here is a wall, and here is any source of light. For example, let's say bulb. So from this bulb, point lights are coming and going. It's the rays, the light is coming and then getting reflected. There are many light rays which are coming from the bulb. There are many light rays, coming from the bulb. Some of the light rays, they are absorbed in the wall and some they get reflected from, like from here. So it is the reflection of light. And then let's talk about the the terms which are related to the reflection of light. Okay, let's see. Incident ray. It's the ray which is like, okay, let me first draw you. Let me first draw and then explain. So here, suppose it is a wall here, 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 this one. Yeah. So this one, it's the this one, it's the incident ray, incident ray. The down one is the reflected ray. The middle one, this is the normal. This is the angle of incidence, and this is the angle of reflection. So now let's understand these terms carefully. Incident ray is a ray of light falling on the mirror surface. And here, as I showed you this one, here, the reflected ray. It's a ray of light. It's a ray of light sent back by the mirror here, as you can see. And then the point of incidence. It's a point on mirror where the incident ray falls. This one, the point of incidence. The normal. It's a line perpendicular to mirror drawn at point of incidence. This one. Then the angle of incidence. It's the angle between the incident ray and normal. And the angle of reflection, it's the angle between the normal and the reflected ray. Okay, I hope you understand. And then now let's look at the laws of reflection. Let's now look at the laws of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. The first one, that the incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal, the three lie in the same plane. The second law is that the angle of incidence is always equal with the angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is always equal with the angle of reflection. So now let's solve one question. I hope you understand till here. Let's solve one question now. Okay. The question is, what happens if a light ray is incident on a plane mirror perpendicular? I again repeat the question. What happens if a light ray is incident on a plane mirror perpendicularly? To do this, first we need to draw. First we need to draw. Here. Okay. So, now let's draw mirror first. This one, it's a mirror. Mirror. And then this one, it's like perpendicular. So here we'll draw perpendicular. This one here is the point of incidence. And it says that its light is incident on plane wave perpendicular. So all the three things, normal, normal, incident ray, incident ray, and the reflected ray, these three things are here. Like here, this arrow shows incident ray, and I make like this, that means reflected ray, and the normal I can like this, I can define like this. So here, the angle of incidence is 0. So as I told you that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, we can say that angle of reflection is also 0. So now from this thing we learned that if the light rays hit the mirror perpendicularly to the surface, it is reflected back along the same path. I repeat, if the light rays hit the mirror perpendicularly, it is reflected back along the same path, you can say. And in this case, the case I told you, we can say that the light was at the angle of incidence was equal to the angle of reflection. So I hope you learned something and you enjoyed as much as I've enjoyed explaining you. Thank you. So this was the part one, and um, in part two we will learn about the properties of light, the shadows. Thank you.